Hello, it's Kim from Be Your Own Graphic Designer and a Canva champion. Today's Canva Quick Tip is how to use frames. Frames are incredibly useful as you can put your own images onto them and create all sorts of different shapes. And Canva has an incredibly wide range of choices for you to play with and experiment. Let's go over to my Canva screen and I'll show you how to use them. I'm going to use a YouTube thumbnail because that will be really useful for me later. And you can find frames under Elements. You can either just click here, or you can scroll down and you'll find frames here. And I'm going to click on See All, so you can have an idea of just how many there are. And there's a huge number. I'll scroll through very quickly. This would be great if you're working in a business and need to do a table of organization, and you can add people's pictures in. And the choice goes on and on and on, with lots of different effects around them. This is a very 3D effect. So I'm going to shoot back to the top, and I'm going to choose some just to experiment with to show you how. And I quite like this jagged edge effect one. And then let's find something else. I'll choose this one that looks like a book cover, which would be great if you're trying to do a template for something. And you'll see where the colors are here means that you can change the colors of the frame around. I'm going to choose this one that has some effects on. So there are my three. I'm going to go to my own branding and use my Be Your Own Graphic Designer girl, which I have in various poses, on some of these. And then I'll do one with the photo in from the Canva library, so you can just see how you can use any photo that you've got. I'm going to put this one into here. You can see you just hover over and it drops it in instantly. And then I think I'm going to put this image here into this one. That works, but not quite, because we've covered up the face of the poor cat. I'm going to show you how you can adjust them. This one, I'm going to change the frame color. If I click on the colors here, I'm going to change this to blue from my brand kit. It's just changed and brought it back a bit more into my own theming. And then I'm going to move to this one, and I want to adjust it. Now, if I want to move the position of this, I need to double click on it, and then I need to make it bigger. This is one of the things I've found, and one of the tips that's really important is that you can't adjust your image if it's smaller than the frame or the same size as the frame. It needs to be bigger, otherwise you won't be able to move it around. So it's something to bear in mind when you're doing it. And as you can see, you can easily make that larger, so it's not a problem. You can see those white lines, very faint, are the grid lines. If I line it up with that, I'll make it a little smaller so I get a little more of the picture in, and then the cat will now be showing. Now our cat has a face. You can now make them bigger or smaller, and you can move them around. It's very easy to do. I'm now going to go back to Elements, and I'm going to go into Photos. I'm going to search dogs, and this one's rather cute. And I'm going to click that, and I'm going to hover that over here. And you can see how that makes a much more fun photo to use. Again, if I want to move it around, I can make it bigger, click on it, and move that slightly over to the right, and you can see the grids, which will show you where you have your frame. And click Done. And now it's slightly moved over to your right. I hope that helps and gives you some ideas of how to use frames. The most confusing part can be positioning your photo. So remember to always make it larger than the frame that you want to fill, and then you'll be able to do it easily. Hope that helps, and see you next week.